The mainstream media's portrayal of climate change has become a highly politicized and divisive issue, with some arguing that it is being used as a tool to oppress Christians. While this claim may seem far-fetched, it is essential to examine the ways in which the media's coverage of climate change may be perpetuating a narrative that is hostile to Christian values and beliefs. One of the primary ways in which the media's coverage of climate change may be seen as oppressive to Christians is through its emphasis on the role of human activity in causing environmental degradation. Many Christians believe that the earth is a creation of God, and that humans have a stewardship role in protecting and preserving it. However, the media's focus on the negative impact of human activity on the environment can be seen as implying that humans are inherently destructive and selfish, which can be at odds with the Christian belief in human dignity and worth. Furthermore, the media's coverage of climate change often presents a secular, scientific worldview that can be seen as conflicting with Christian teachings. For example, the idea that humans are responsible for causing climate change through their emissions and consumption patterns can be seen as undermining the Christian notion of sin and redemption. In the Christian worldview, sin is seen as a moral failing that can be forgiven through faith in God, whereas the media's narrative on climate change often presents human activity as the primary cause of environmental problems, with no clear path to redemption or forgiveness. Additionally, the media's emphasis on the need for drastic action to mitigate the effects of climate change can be seen as promoting a kind of environmentalism that is at odds with Christian values. Some Christians believe that the focus on environmentalism can lead to a kind of idolatry, where the creation is prioritized over the creator. This can be seen in the way that some environmental activists and media outlets promote a kind of eco-spirituality that emphasizes the sacredness of the natural world, while dampening the importance of human relationships with God. The media's coverage of climate change can also be seen as oppressive to Christians through its marginalization of Christian voices and perspectives. Despite the fact that many Christians are deeply concerned about environmental issues and are working to address them, the media often presents a narrative that suggests that Christians are opposed to environmental protection. This can be seen in the way that Christian leaders who speak out on environmental issues are often ignored or dismissed by the media, while secular environmental activists are given a platform to promote their views. Moreover, the media's emphasis on the need for government regulation and international cooperation to address climate change can be seen as promoting a kind of global governance that is at odds with Christian values of individual freedom and responsibility. Some Christians believe that the push for global governance and regulation can lead to a kind of totalitarianism, where individual rights and freedoms are sacrificed for the sake of the collective good. This can be seen in the way that some environmental activists and media outlets promote a kind of one-world approach to environmental governance, which can be seen as conflicting with the Christian notion of individual sovereignty and accountability to God. In conclusion, while the claim that the mainstream media uses climate change to oppress Christians may seem exaggerated, it is essential to examine the ways in which the media's coverage of climate change may be perpetuating a narrative that is hostile to Christian values and beliefs. Through its emphasis on human activity as the primary cause of environmental problems, its promotion of a secular, scientific worldview, its emphasis on environmentalism over Christian values, its marginalization of Christian voices and perspectives, and its promotion of global governance and regulation, the media's coverage of climate change can be seen as oppressive to Christians. As such, it is essential for Christians to be aware of these dynamics and to engage in a nuanced and informed discussion about the role of climate change in the media and its implications for Christian values and beliefs.